We live in a type A world. A world of hurry and worry and anxiety. A world in which so many of us, let's be honest, are living on the edge of our seats. Always leaning forward, always bracing for bad news, always anticipating the next email, the next bill, the next meeting, the next conflict, the next thing that we have to fix or figure out or control. We live with elevated cortisol levels, clenched jaws, shallow breathing, and a constant sense that if we don't hold it all together, then it's going to fall apart. Raise your hand if you can relate. Just the people in the front. Cool. Okay. Sitting on the edge of your seat. And today I want to talk about a different kind of way to live, an alternative to life in a type A world, a way of life marked by peace and trust and rest. Like Anthony said, we're in week 3 of a 7-week series that we've called That's What He Said. Where we're exploring the words of Jesus and specifically the 7 I am statements that Jesus makes in John's gospel. And the statement I want to unpack today is the statement, I am the good shepherd. And as I was kind of praying about and pondering on that line and the story from the doctor's office, it got me thinking, and maybe this names something in you. That life without the Lord as a shepherd is life on the edge of your seat. Because I'm telling you guys, when we don't have a good shepherd, then we carry the full weight of our own life. Which means we have to find our own way, which means we have to protect ourselves, have to anticipate every danger, have to secure our own future, then we have to make it all work. And whether we like it or not, or whether we can admit that or not, that produces a certain kind of life, a frantic life, an anxious life, a burdened life. And my guess is that some of you, whether you're in the room or watching online, some of you are just exhausted right now because you're carrying what only a good shepherd can carry. Everybody, I said this at Christmas, and maybe the question isn't, why are you so tired? Why am I so tired? Maybe the question is, what or who is shepherding me? I said this at Christmas, and I'll say it again to kind of lay the foundation for the sermon, but everybody needs a shepherd. It stings our pride, but it is true. The Bible talks about sheep more than any other animal, right? Why? Because sheep tell us something about our human condition. Sheep need guidance. Sheep need protection. Sheep panic easily. Sheep wander off. Sheep bite one another. And here's the big one. Sheep make terrible decisions. Now, I know that that's not very flattering, that the number one adjective that we use to describe sheep is what? Dumb. They're stupid. And maybe some of you are sitting here going, Tom, are you saying I'm stupid? That's offensive. Well, maybe you're an above average sheep. Maybe you made the honor roll and you got the bumper sticker. Well done. You can have that, okay? But let's be honest with ourselves. Humans, we do dumb things all the time. We sabotage relationships. We say words that we wish we could take back. We chase things that don't ultimately satisfy. We follow crowds off of cliffs. And that's not even a metaphor. I read a story about this happened a few years ago in eastern Turkey. There was a shepherd who left his flock unattended, and one of the sheep walked off a cliff. And guess what the rest of the sheep did? Every single one of them, they followed one after another, straight over the edge to their death. This is an AI-generated image because I didn't want to show you the real one because it was pretty horrific. Now, you'd think at some point one of those sheep would pause and say, hey, this doesn't feel right. Everybody keeps disappearing and no one's coming back. Maybe we should pause and reassess the situation. But sheep don't think like that. Sheep think like this. Well, Sally went and Pete went. I guess I'll go too. This doesn't sound like such a bad idea. I'm sorry. Anthony's had to hear that joke 3 times. But here's the truth. We can be like that too. Everyone's investing in that thing, well, so will I. Everyone's outraged about that topic, well, so am I. Everyone's chasing that so-called dream, well, so should I. We follow crowds off of cliffs all the time. And this is why the prophet Isaiah said this very plainly. He said, all we, like sheep, have gone astray. And Jesus, looking over the stressed out and anxious crowds of Jerusalem, the Bible says that he had compassion on them. Why? Because we were like sheep, harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. And guys, that's not an insult, that's just a diagnosis. God is a shepherd and you and I are like sheep. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If you think that you currently don't have a shepherd, then you're wrong. Because your shepherd is whomever or whatever you are trusting your life to. It is whatever you are counting on to take care of you, to watch out for you, to secure your future, to make your life meaningful. And we can turn all kinds of things into shepherds. Your job can be your shepherd. Your 401k can be your shepherd. What other people think about you can be your shepherd. Do you get it? We all have one. And all the Bible is saying here is this: choose your shepherd very carefully, because when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and you will, your job, your money, your status, your success will not shepherd you there. And here's the good news. Into that world view, Jesus steps onto the pages of history and he steps forward and he says something that, to be honest, is either incredibly comforting or it is deeply confronting. And it's probably a bit of both. He says, I am the good shepherd. Not one of many good shepherds. No, I am the good shepherd.